All right, welcome back to the channel, guys. It's your boy Sola here, and today I'm going to be breaking down 5 players who are on my radar for Game Week 5, and that's if I decide I want to make a transfer. Some of them are pretty much template names, and some are differential. So as always, if you enjoy the content, just make sure you smash that like button, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any videos. So let's get right into it. All right. So first up is Cole Palmer. Now, I know he's been injured and he came off the bench against Brentford and looked really good. He made massive impact, scoring a goal and having 5 shots on target, which is actually the game week high alongside Erling Haaland, who of course played 90 minutes. So it just shows how involved that Palmer was in the short spate of time that he was on. And it's not even just in the league. I mean, in the Champions League earlier today, he scored a really well taken goal and another goal, which unfortunately was ruled out by VAR. So you can tell that the confidence in him is flowing. So next up, he faces Manchester United, who do not look good right now, as we all saw how City dismantled them over the weekend at the derby. They looked fragile. They just did not look good, and I think Cole Palmer can exploit that. Chelsea are winless in their last two in all competitions. So if there was an opportunity for Palmer to bounce back and for Chelsea to get back to winning ways, I think Palmer can be key to that. And I think this is an opportunity not for just for Palmer to help Chelsea get back to winning ways, but to just have this confidence keep flowing as well. And next up, I have, which is pretty much expected. Antoine Semenyo. To be fair, the only reason I don't have him is simply because I'm just stubborn. This week he is the most transferred in player for Game Week 5 with over 600,000 managers bringing him in, and he's sitting at a 40.5% ownership, and of course he has the stats to back him up. In FPL, he's the highest scoring midfielder, returning in 3 out of 4 game weeks. And as we saw in their last game, he's on penalties until at least we know for now he's on penalties until Cliver comes back, and he does rank top amongst all midfielders in FPL with goals with 3, shots in the box with 11, and big chances with 6. So in his first 4 games, he has come up with some elite level output in terms of from an FPL perspective. Yeah, and his next fixture is against Newcastle, and even though on paper it doesn't look like the best fixture, but why this fixture stands out to me is that Newcastle would have pretty much just played Barcelona in the Champions League 72 hours earlier. So this could mean that like we could see Newcastle with a more rotated squad, tired legs, less intensity. So I think it can be an opportunity for Semenyo to just keep his hot streak going. Well, the only thing I want to warn you is about is the curse of the most transferred in player. We've seen this season that 2 out of 3 of the most transferred in players have blanked the week that they were the most transferred in. So yeah, I'm just putting that out there that like Jao Pedro is the only one that has been able to survive that curse. Jack Grealish and Reinders both when they were the most transferred in players for that game week, they both blanked immediately. So hey, but I'm still deliberating if I am gonna make a change. I mean, if I don't make a change this week, I'll probably make one next week, and I'll probably bring in Semenyo at some point. If not this week, then the week after. But at some point, I'm gonna have to get him in, just again because of his ownership. And when players start getting to like 35, 40% ownership, you want to have them as a safety blanket so that when they do return, it doesn't affect your rank significantly. And that takes me now to my first big differential this video. Phil Foden. He started against Manchester United and he looked pretty good. Opened the scoring. He looked pretty sharp as well. He playing centrally with Doku and Bernardo Silva on the flanks. Um, he he had more space, to find these pockets. And I know lot he's not a popular pick this season, obvious for obvious reason, because last year he just didn't look himself. And but what I saw against United, he looks like the Foden that we're used to. So, and now with Kevin De Bruyne gone, he definitely will have more an increased responsibility in the squad, more from the creative end. So based on that, I think he can be a very good pick if you get him in early. I mean, me personally, I like to get players in early before they turn into bandwagon picks. On a personal note, it has been crucial to my FPL successes in the past, and I think Foden is that type of player that if you bring him in early enough, you will benefit before others jump on him. And finally, the one thing I also want to mention about Foden is that after the Arsenal game in Gameweek 5, they have an excellent run of fixtures where they face Burnley at home, Brentford away, Everton at home, and Villa away. So, I mean, I'm definitely looking to. I'm seriously considering doubling up for that run, and Foden is top of my list. To partner with Erling Haaland for that run. Um, Next up, staying at Manchester City is this time is it's in defense is Josko Vardio. He did keep a clean sheet against United, as mentioned. It was a very comfortable 3-0 win at at, at the Etihad on Sunday. But I think why I'm going for him is, well, there's a few reasons I'm going for him. First of all, is with Nuri out, I think I do expect him to go back to left back in the near future because he did play at centre back against United, which we haven't seen him do much in a Manchester City shirt. Even though we all know, um, when he was bought from Leipzig, he was a centre back, but in Pep's system, he's mostly been a fullback, and he's been one that's been very involved in build up and even the final third. Like in the last 2 seasons, he's a defender he's a defender that's been known for getting attacking returns, and he's usually really popular. So, which is why, looking at his ownership at 3.2 for a player of a defender that gets attacking returns like as much as he does, that's a massive differential. And normally he's usually highly owned, but again, because he's been injured and he just got back from injury, and again with people doubt, with City season last season, obviously it casts a lot of doubts with a lot of managers. But I think personally, I think City will have a good season. Yeah, I do tip them to go all the way. That they were my prediction preseason, and I'm still sticking with that because I think it is a season that for Pep that to just bounce back and just remind everyone who he is. But again, it's early in the season, and I think also with the same point I made with Phil Foden, I think this can be a good time to get him in as they are about to go on a very, very nice run where he can not only potentially get clean sheets but attacking returns as well. Now finally, this is what you call a proper punt. I'm going with Emmanuel Agbadu at 4.5 million. Yes, a Wolves defender. It doesn't sound like the most exciting pick, but this is a pick solely based on Wolves' upcoming fixtures. In their next 5, they do face 3 of the newly promoted sides, with 2 of them being home fixtures. Which the very next one is against Leeds, and in game week 9, they face Burnley at home, right after Sunderland away. So now let's looking at the game against Leeds. Right now Leeds have only scored 1 goal, and it was a penalty against Everton on the opening weekend. They've only created 5 big chances in their 4 matches, which is the 4th lowest in the league. So I mean, Leeds haven't shown any sort of attacking impetus or attacking threats in their opening 4 games, which is why I think this is a good time to get a, a Wolves defender, which and I think he looks the most nailed on. He's um he's the most nailed on. He's gotten 41 DEFCON defensive contributions so far, which is eighth amongst all defenders, which has resulted in him returning two NEFCON points against Bournemouth and Newcastle so far. So I mean, for a 4.5 option, I think that's pretty solid. And talk about differentials, he's owned by 0.4%. So that's as differential as it gets. And it is the type of move that I do like to make, you know, before before they before they do become a trend. Even though I don't expect him to become a trend at all, unless Wolves just like keep like 3 or 4 clean sheets on the bounce, then and like maybe he gets like two attacking returns in the process. I don't see him getting like those like becoming like a bandwagon pick. But hey, who knows? Football is a funny game, so um anything can happen. Well, so pretty much there you have it. That's my watch list for Game Week 5. Cole Palmer, Antoine Semenyo, Phil Foden, Josko Gvardiol, and Emmanuel Agbadu, which is my cheeky punt. So just to reiterate, I think what I really want to communicate here is that I like to spot players who could potentially get big returns or consistent returns over the next couple of weeks, over the next few weeks. Especially because before they become bandwagons, because um, when differentials return, that's how you do get green arrows. That's how you move up the table, not just in the overall ranking, but your mini leagues. So, if you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and most importantly, you could drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think about picks. If you have any other picks that you have, let me know. Who are you targeting for Game Week 5? So on that note, good luck to everyone, and I will catch you in the next video.